Om. Greetings, Holy One. At various times throughout the ministry, I have attempted to share this idea of Dharma, of in a poetic fashion, the understanding, the visualization, the sense of a golden energy that I have experienced, that I exist within, and that my frequency and my vibration partake of. And it's all connected. The frequency, the vibration, the higher that it is, the more stable that it is, the greater this golden energy. But with words and communication and trying to making the attempt to convey this spiritual technology, words, I have at various times tried to correlate this experience with the Eastern concept of Dharma, and also further with the understanding and the adherence to universal law. And these universal laws have been wonderfully detailed and shared and talked about in Hermetics and the Kabbalion, and but the law of correspondence, the law of vib vibration, seven laws, law of caring, law of gender, so on and so forth. But these essentially these unvarying ways that the universe works, that it flows along. And so I had correlated the understanding and the adherence to this, the observation rather, as best as I was able to with the Eastern concept of Dharma, which I have thought about it further and been able to come up with this understanding in a more Western context as the science of heaven. And that's what I'm sharing now with you, dear viewer. It's a posting that I just made. But the science of heaven, and sort of correlating this with the Eastern concept of Dharma, and when Dharma in particular is understood beyond its narrow translation as duty or religious law, and instead as the cosmic principle of alignment, coherence, and right action. So you see, I experience probably as much people have, and a lot more people are learning, much chaos in my life. And it was essentially due to my own lack of personal integrity, alignment, so on and so forth. So as that changed, as my Kundalini activation took place and everything was put into alignment, put into perspective, my life has been a series of harmony and grace. And of course, the Kundalini, the mother intelligence, the feminine creative energy guides me, and it's my lessons, and it lets me know when I'm getting off track. But it has been a process of ever increasing more alignment with universal law and the understanding. And that is how I try to convey the concept of Dharma, of existing within a golden energy of coherence. And so part of that um, understanding or irony I want to say is that from the outside, it's not going to, many people are, they're not going to like me, like what I'm saying. They're not going to like the way I look. Many reasons that chaos can visit, but it does not matter if as I am in coherence, alignment. And so this does not mean this is where this teaching decouples from the love and light crowd, because it's not going to be all love and light. It's not going to be. I am here for a reason. I look the way that I do for a reason. If you're going to attack me because of my skin color or if I wear camouflage or anything of that third dimensional nature, you're going to run up against a very stable, coherent operator. And you can take that as you will, take it to the bank, and hopefully you'll invest it and learn that you don't come up in here and fool with Dharma, the Dharma of the Aumbonda New Elohim Ashram. Namaste, namaskaram. Because we don't play. We are in alignment. And if that bothers you, you're going to learn dissolution because we are stable and we have a mission. And mission is as follows, is alignment with cosmic law and teaching the alignment with cosmic law. And heaven, in this post that I'm sharing, is it's not some place outside that's part of the external savior program scam, but this is understood as a coherent field of universal frequencies that we can inhabit and inhabit more so the more that we are in alignment with cosmic law, universal law, personal right action, personal integrity, so on and so forth. But this heaven exists as a frequency, as a vibrational dimension. We have understood it as the fifth dimension. This is the order of the higher order of the universe. So acting within Dharma with the science of heaven, implementing the science of heaven means living in alignment with the natural laws of existence. Inner coherence aligns us with the quantum field of universal consciousness, and coffee helps. So this humanitarian bandwidth, though, like I literally, for my path going forward, I can share you this. There's a natural aversion to things that used to really, I guess consciously, I never really thought about. I was like everybody else. So I want to try to make as much money and have, all this stuff. But that lifestyle is not in cosmic alignment. And it's sickening to me when I see and hear and get around people, they're talking about, their money and they want to go after money and their Andrew Tates and all that. That is an aversion to me. And so I have realized the practical nature of making a living and fulfilling cosmic dharma is the Aumbonda New Elohim Ashram is a humanitarian effort, is a humanitarian concept. And so, but looking at employment going forward, I'm interested in only humanitarian type jobs. And this bandwidth, being that way, being interested in the world around me, is where collective ethical action creates coherence, mirrors the idea that Dharma is not abstract, but practical and lived. Every ethical choice, every act of service contributes to a field of order and harmony, just as fulfilling one's Dharma contributes to the cosmic balance. So this science of heaven, which I'm sharing now, emphasizes transcending fragmented, unconscious behavior and aligning with higher frequencies. And so the beast system is the exact opposite of all that. The beast system is that which seeks to keep people tethered to the matrix, fragmented, incoherent energies, distracted, preyed upon. That is everything that is the beast system. And so the more that I am in alignment with the science of heaven or executing the science of heaven in alignment with my personal Dharma that is tethered to cosmic Dharma, the more that I defeat the beast system, the more that I see through Maya, illusion, and live according to my highest potential, creating freedom through disciplined alignment with universal principles. And so that is essentially this science of heaven that I'm sharing here, this post that I just made, as a very practical understanding of what sometimes people understand as just purely poetic, mythopoetic language. But there's a reality behind this, and I'm telling you, I've experienced in my life in greater and greater quantities, despite living in a very, where I live is a very tumultuous area, um, criminally dangerous, a lot of activity like that. And but I can tell you that my personal Dharma, the golden energy coherence, and the adherence to that, I float through all this. And so I know that no matter how rough of a situation wherever anybody's at in their life or whatever, the more that you begin to allow yourself to float into alignment with this, you will see your life improve. Unless you're just addicted to chaos and some trauma bound, you have to work through that. But that is part of the Aumbonda Nu Elohim Ashram, is to provide real world technology, spiritual technology, um, so people can change their lives. And so that is the humanitarian bandwidth that is the science of heaven, that is conscious co-creation. Heaven is not granted, it's manifested. We act from the perspective of universal fractal consciousness. The science of heaven is simple, yet profound. By becoming coherent in thought, emotion, and action, this is personal integrity. This is mind, action, and will in alignment with divine law. This is what I've been trying to also explain with Saturn, the age of Saturn. Yes, we're in this Aquarian age of greater access to spirituality and all, but it is also conterminous with the age of Saturn and personal responsibility. And people that are out in the streets trying to make their point, call other people racist, attack other people, go into churches and all that stuff, they're not in coherence. They are victims of the beast. The beast, Satan, is roaring like a lion. And those who are not in coherent thought, emotion, and action, um, they're learning that. And you will learn it if you come to Texas and try to attack somebody based upon their skin color or if they're wearing camouflage. You will learn quite quickly that we here in Texas are in coherence with cosmic law, Dharma, golden energy, and you can be exteriorized immediately for your lack of coherence by the beast. And that is what Satan is seeking to do. He is roaring like a lion and he is taking all down who are not in cosmic coherence. So please hit the subscribe button and leave this video a thumbs up, as it indicates to the algorithm that you adhere to the science of heaven. Namaste. Namaskaram.